Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Xbox Live episode 299 Fast News. I am one of your hosts, Mark, aka Wingman709, and with me, as always, my good buddy Rob.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rob, also known as Presar on Xbox Live.
And also, always here with us is, last but not least, is my good buddy Brun.
Yep. BJ Swick 33.
All right, so we are going to hit it. You guys are going to get a new show today. We're going to try something new. And we've got a lot of stuff to give away. This is an exciting show, guys. Next week, episode 300. 300!
That's crazy.
That's insane.
hmm
I think we
That's
should
a
get an award or something for that.
that would
You
be
get
nice.
thumbs up.
Rob's going to bake cookies next week, I think.
And I'll eat them all. You guys, if you can get over here to Chicago, you can have some.
All
We
right.
can
Actually,
watch you
forget the
eat them on the
cookies.
show.
Forget the cookies. I'm making steaks. I'm making ribs.
Now
I'd
we're
rather
gonna be
eat that
there.
than cookies.
All right, Brian, that's it. We're going to be broadcasting live, all of us together in Rob's house next week.
I'll tell my wife right now, honey, we're going to Chicago to record episode 300 next week.
I bet that goes over well.
We'll get back to you later on that one.
All of a sudden, you see a shoe flying at Brun's head.
A pan
If he dodges something.
The shoes after
comes
the
flying
pan.
across.
All right, so we got a new format on top of it being episode 299 and us giving away a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to give away, if you're watching our live show via the Twitch feed, we are going to give away a free $60 retail or downloadable game of your choice to someone watching the show live tonight. They won't find out till next week. All the winners will be announced in episode 300. But so if you're on a Twitch, you have a chance of getting a free game tonight. Also, Rob is going to post a question at some point tonight. He will post a trivia question to the Facebook group. That you probably want to go ahead and pin that, Rob, so it doesn't get buried. But we'll pin that up there for the week, and it'll be a trivia question. And all the correct answers, we will randomly select one of the correct answers to win another $60 gift card so that they can either have a digital game download or buy a retail. If you want the digital, we'll give you an Xbox Live gift card for $60 so you can download digitally. If you want to purchase something, we will give you an Amazon gift card that you can purchase through Amazon, a retail copy. And we're giving you $60. You can use it however you want. You want to buy $60 of cat food at Amazon, you're welcome to it. So, but and then thirdly, Brun is going to tell you what he's going to do, but he's also got a giveaway here that we're going to work on throughout the show. So that'll come up here in just a moment. But be sure to continue to check out our website at thisxboxlife.com. You can click on our Amazon web link there, and it'll take you to our affiliate page. That is how we're able to do the giveaways, people, by you guys shopping at Amazon with our affiliate link. So we appreciate you guys supporting us that way, and we're giving back to you. So with that, I will turn it over to Brun for some contest stuff, info.
Yep. So with my version of the contest, to win, you'll go to thisxboxlife.com. You'll click on what link is it? Or what's the section on the contest?
tab.
Fill out your answer. So, but the way I'm doing it is I'm going to be giving clues throughout the show that will lead you to the answer. Hopefully, lead you to the answer. Once you have the answer, go there and submit your answer. So what mine is this is going to be a character, the name of a character. Now, the name of this character is somehow related to a game that has been released on either the Xbox, Xbox 360, or Xbox One. Now, the character may or may not be in a game that is exclusive to Xbox, so you have to make sure you broaden your horizons when making this selection or looking it up. You're allowed to use the internet, of course. You don't have to know this right off the top of your head. So, for the very first clue that I'm going to give you is, and this is like speaking as the character,
Lisa
is
Zombie.
Yes.
Oh, that's not it.
Oh, wrong
Did I
show.
just give it away?
Nice. Nope. So if I was the character, I would say, I have a brother or is it a sister? So I have a brother, or is it a sister? That's the first clue. More to come.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Man, I got it already. That's so easy.
And that's because you know what the answer is.
No, I don't actually.
Oh.
I haven't even looked at your thing yet. So.
Okay, well, don't look, because then maybe after a show
actually,
you can.
Right there. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yes, might not be an easy one, will it? So.
It's going to take some stuff. I guess it'll depend on your clues throughout the thing. So it'll
Yep.
be fun to see if we get anything on this.
Yeah. Well, by the end, they should have a good direction on where to go. So.
Cool. Nice. I like where this is going. All right, cool, man. So let's move on to what we have been playing. This part of the show is going to remain, but what you're going to find out, I mentioned we're going to change the format up, and I didn't say what we're going to do. We're still going to have our what we played each week. People seem to enjoy knowing what we're playing. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into our new section called Xbox News. And what that is instead of when we first started this show, we were doing like a roundtable discussion. We liked it because we were kind of different. We would talk about the topics a bit more, we felt. And we feel like we've gone away from that where we're just kind of reading the new stuff and we've kind of become like everybody else. So we're trying to get back to our roots. So what we're going to do this week is every week we're going to swap out who does the news. And it'll be kind of like a rapid fire thing. It's going to be, what do you got, like 2 minutes, Braun? I think
Sure.
roughly. He's going to go through like 9 news stories in like 2 minutes. So it's just going to be bam, 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 one after the other. Rob and I aren't going to say anything. He's going to deliver the news. Then we're going to go into our roundtable. And every week we're going to take a few topics and actually discuss our thoughts, our feelings, kind of try to dive into it a little bit more and have that kind of well-rounded discussion about the particular topics. So also, if you guys have topics that you would like us to discuss, then feel free to submit those to us. We'll be happy to take some community discussions as well. So with that, let's jump into what we've been playing. And I think, Rob, you're up first.
You bet. All right, so a little continuation from last week. One of the things I've been doing with my son on the weekends primarily is playing some Disney Infinity. And man, I still don't know what to make of this. He just turned 6 years old. So it's, I think you probably went through this stuff, maybe, Mark. So far, like last night, tonight wasn't as bad, but last night ended in tears.
Oh, what did you do?
He was being so mean.
Was he beating you?
No, it just we got into this. We did this co-op thing. I'll call it that, where you had to go and toilet paper or TP the statue. I don't know if you remember that from the game, Mark, but you had to TP the statue with this TP gun, toilet paper gun, and so the statue is protected by a monster. So what I did is I went in and I distracted the monster. He chased me. I ran off. He chased me. And so my son went in and he was supposed to TP the statue. Well, he's sitting there and he's kind of like messing around. He's not aiming at it. He's shooting it. He's shooting the walls. He's doing all this stuff. And I get wiped out by this dude. And then he's coming back, and I'm like, "Come on, you got a TP." And then he got one TP. You got one TP. You need to do 2. You got one TP shot in, and then he's like freaking out. He's like, "No!" He doesn't know how to handle the stress of gaming yet. And poor little guy just freaked out, and he started crying, and it was pretty bad. We had to call it a night, and then. Tonight, it ended in tears, too, but that was when I told him he needed to go to bed. Because we do it right before he goes to bed. But, I figured the Incredibles, or not Incredibles, Disney Infinity would be something to kind of like bridge him into the Xbox stuff. But, he's almost there. We'll see how it goes over the next couple weeks, months, or whatever. Actually, I don't know if I'm ready for him to play. because he just wants to sit there and like beat up on a guy. I'm like, come on, we got to do missions. We got to do missions. We got to finish. Why'd you start a new mission? We were still working on the old one. It's pretty comical when I look back on it. But yeah, I'm a little nervous about the Marvel Infinity coming out soon. I'm gonna try to not let him find out about it, at least until Christmas, and then maybe I'll surprise him with something. But beyond that, I've been playing some Wolfenstein. Have either of you played Wolfenstein New Order yet? Or the New
Nope.
Order? No?
No, I have not.
Well, so Wolfenstein, I mean, this game goes back 20 years or whatnot, right? With the original Wolfenstein 3D. And then there's a couple that came out after that. And a couple of them were kind of oddball, actually, and didn't get too many good ratings. So this latest one, I wasn't quite sure what to make of it. I hadn't really read up too much on it. I haven't watched not really any. Actually, I think I saw one trailer on it. But when I was at Costco last week, they had it for $20 off. So it's normally $53, $20 off on top of that. For $33, I'm like, I'm going to get it. And I've already gone back on my digital only desires a while back, so it was no problem getting the disc. So I got this thing home, and I opened it up last week, and I started playing it, and I got to tell you, I can't put this thing down. It is
Good.
surprisingly really good. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but it really kind of reminds me a little bit of like the fun that I had when I was playing Tomb Raider, because the story is really cool. At least I enjoy the story of that alternate history, where the Nazis take over and they do all that crazy technology stuff. I always liked that stuff in the past. So it's a lot of that. Basically, you're playing this one guy who he's fighting the Nazis, and basically he winds up getting put in a insane asylum where he's there for 14 years. He's kind of like a vegetable, and then he comes back and he's himself, and then he's taken on the Nazis. And a lot of this game is done so well. It is really cool. Like there's this one section where he's in that insane asylum, and you see him, he's like wheeled over like to this window, and he's just sitting there kind of like, just like, listless, limp, whatever you want to call it, just sitting there like looking out the window, like this blank stare. And then they show this cinematography, I'll call it that. They show the cinematography of how everything changes over like the years, and he's just sitting there, and you see like the furniture being shifted around, people coming and going. It is just done so well. And then even later on, it's really funny. Like he does some one-liners that kind of had me chuckling, which is rare for a game. I'm one of those people. I'll sit even in a comedy. I'm like, just stone-faced watching it. Granted, a lot of them are stupid, but but I sit there and this game kind of makes me chuckle. Like there's one big robot that you're fighting, and then which is like the last big boss in this level of all these creatures or these people and stuff that's thrown at you, and then he goes, "All right, something like I killed all your guys, I broke all your toys. Now it's time to kick your butt." But it's pretty funny, and I really enjoy the game. It really brings me back to the shooters that I used to love back in the day. It's not really an open world type of game. It's very linear. You have to get from point A to point B essentially, and I guess I kind of like that more so than maybe some of the newer games like Watch Dogs, where you're kind of free to do whatever you want. But it's really a cool game, and definitely want to check it out, or you definitely might want to check it out. I know it's on sale right now. I think for all platforms for like $39, which is a pretty good deal as well. I don't remember where it is. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon or who knows what. But yeah, a big surprise for me, and I really enjoy the game. Really enjoy it. So those are my two things this week. And I'm done talking for a while.
Phew.
Did I gush enough about that game? I could probably go on for another 10 minutes.
No, we're good.
Okay.
All right, bro.
How about you, Brian?
All right. Well, a couple things. It was Steam Summer Sale this week.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I purchased a lot of games for very little money. And so I was trying them all out. And so I've played Banished, Farm Simulator 2013,
Oh my
What?
gosh.
Tropico 4, Thief, and Planetary Annihilation. They're all good except for Farming Simulator. But what I played
you
I played a majority of this weekend was Battlefield 4. So Battlefield 4 is being, a lot of patches coming out. It's being fixed. I've been in the testing environments. They've pushed those out, and it was double XP weekend. So I jumped in there on Friday, played a good bit, played Saturday, played today. Used my 200% boosts. So not only getting double XP, but then getting 200% on top of it. So I went from level 88 to 100. So I'm level 100 in Battlefield 4. So, but playing a lot with this clan ADK. So I was thinking about going through a process to maybe getting in with those guys to play a lot. So they're really good. So, but that's what I did a majority of.
So you
So
said
it's been
they're still fixing the game, right?
they're still patching a lot of stuff, but they did all the netcode fixes, which you can tell. So it was really bad. So there's a lot of things that have been fixed that were a majority of the complaints of like battle or broken field. So it's called broken field, not battlefield.
Battlefield.
So yeah, or battle fail. So they actually have fixed a lot of that stuff. It's to the point now where I can't really tell you what was the stuff that was broken and anymore, because it's just like it seems like a majority of it's been fixed. There's still things here and there that I can see, like still people sometimes getting shot through walls and stuff, but not sure if that's a map per map basis, or if it's just everything, every wall, because it seems to be in certain maps. So
Brun, what do you think? It took them 8 months to fix it. What's your thought? Is that acceptable for a company to release a title and then take 8 months to fix all the issues?
yeah, well, 8 months ain't counting. So like I said, it's not all fixed, but I can't tell you unless I go read through all the notes, things that are fixed or broken.
If they fixed the netcode stuff, and if that's the majority, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they've resolved the majority of what everybody was complaining about 8 months after release.
No.
That seems ridiculous to me.
No, I mean, so...
And that's not an anti-Battlefield thing. I bought Battlefield 4, so...
If you're asking me, who is...
I just don't play it because it's But I mean, it irritates me. So I have the right to complain because I bought it. 8 months is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I mean, you're talking to Battlefield fan here, and I've bought every Battlefield game there is except for Battlefield 2 Modern Combat and the expansion to Battlefield 1942. So like I'm a veteran 10 if you want to consider it, that or whatever, or 11 now I guess since Battlefield 4, but completely unacceptable for not only for that, but now you have the president of EA coming out saying that it wasn't acceptable and blah blah blah, when honestly, you want my opinion, EA forced DICE to release a game that was not finished, because EA last week or the last couple weeks, I think it was last week, is blaming DICE. They're just flat out came out and they're blaming DICE. They're blaming DICE for everything on it. They are hanging them out to dry, even though that all EA games, not just ones from DICE, always seem to be broken and never work on day one. They're blaming DICE. So, and DICE is coming out with Battlefield Hardline, and is
No, they're
that,
not.
but,
Dice isn't.
well, sorry,
It's, Visual
EA is coming out
Games.
with Hardline. It's not DICE. So you tell me that Battlefield 4 is all DICE's fault. But
Well,
that's,
what happens if
know,
Hardline doesn't have the issues that Battlefield 3 and 4 and
But
what
based
if
on
they
the
don't
beta,
have the issues?
based on the beta, they do, because they're using the
And you
engine.
expect it, right?
Right, but that's the thing is, you could tell in their beta that they are going to that they have the same issues, probably because they don't have the new netcode yet. That's just come out, but it's unacceptable. They have 2 class action lawsuits against them. I hope they lose both of them. I hope they have to pay back every person some fraction of money that they spent, because I spent not only the $70 version, but I bought the $50 in premium. They still have 2 DLC packs that need to come out, and a number of things. It's just, it's completely unacceptable. And I was going to take advantage of the refund that they give you, that like they guaranteed whatever, but I could only get my money back for the game. I couldn't get my money back for the premium. So I was just like, well, I might as well keep it at that point.
Right.
So, and it's just, they had the SimCity issue, they had the Battlefield issue, but it's 8 months and I'm not buying Hardline. At least day one, I'm not. Absolutely not. I'm not buying Battlefield 5 day one. And it's just, they have burnt me. I'm not buying any EA games day one, or even at all, because you look at Titanfall. I could have bought Titanfall on the PC on day one. I still don't own it. I don't plan on buying it. So, I mean,
that's been a good game though.
And I absolutely believe it. Huh?
They actually didn't have issues.
Mm-mm.
Titanfall.
Because they knew better.
Some people were saying they were having an issue. I was on day one for like 8-10 hours straight or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Never had a problem. And the thing is, too, they weren't using EA's servers. So.
Oh.
They were using Microsoft servers. So.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, Microsoft. See, that's the thing with Titanfall. Microsoft was not going to have any of EA's crap, basically. I mean, because Microsoft was depending on that game. Do you think? I mean, with the recent episodes and issues that EA games have had, do you think Microsoft's going to we're going to let you take care of this exclusive that means almost everything to our struggling console right now? You go ahead and take it. We believe that you're going to be ready this time after the 15th try. It's just, that's why Titanfall did well. We'll see when Hardline comes out how well prepared they are.
See, the thing is,
So.
And I got to say, Jesus Walkslot's bringing up a good point in the chat. What about Mass Effect? What about Dragon Age? Now, I don't know what the multiplayer, the online was for Dragon Age, but I never had any issues with Mass Effect multiplayer, and those are EA published, but they're not a DICE game. I tend to agree that it's all DICE. I think EA could be a factor here, but I really think that we see these in DICE games time after time after time. EA does have a history of releasing games where the multiplayer doesn't work, but they do have games that do work. Now, maybe Mass Effect, and I think one of the reasons why maybe Mass Effect and Dragon Age didn't have them is because they're not as big of a draw as a Battlefield game. I mean, Battlefield is like Call of Duty. It's huge. I mean, even Call of Duty, the first one, was it, which one was it? Modern Warfare 3 or 2? I mean, broke Xbox Live. It was like the first one, I think, on the 360. Was that the one that broke it? No, it wasn't the first one.
It was Modern Warfare 2.
Was it?
Because it came out and it was the second one, and it had a ton of problems in it.
But we never have seen a problem with a Call of Duty game since.
Correct.
On the Xbox Live platform. So they've learned. So I do think a lot of this is on DICE, but I would say EA probably has some fault in it as well.
Yeah.
But everybody's got to take their lashes. I think everybody's to blame.
Well, the thing is I wish everybody wants to take Call of Duty and put it against Battlefield. But they're two different types of games. They're both first-person shooters, I understand that. But I mean, there's more than just two first-person shooters out there. You know, there's Halo and Titanfall and you know, ones that are on the PlayStation platform and I mean just but they always want to put Call of Duty versus Battlefield. Like Battlefield is going to hurt Call of Duty sales and Call of Duty is going to hurt Battlefield sales. That's not true. You know, Battlefield will hurt Battlefield sales and Call of Duty will hurt Call of Duty sales. Or actually,
Right.
EA will hurt one and Blizzard will, or not Blizzard, but
Activision.
Activision will hurt the other. But to where EA's comes into fall, I bet you, and behind closed doors, and I'm probably wrong, and this is all speculation. DICE comes out and says, "Hey EA, we need another 3 months. We need to push to spring 2014." And they said, "No, you must beat Call of Duty to market," as if that was going to do something. So they said, "Okay." So they went out and they released it, and it's not finished. So to me, that's what happened. You know, and EA coming out and saying, "Oh no, it's all Activision's fault because they were trying to do," or not Activision, it's all DICE's fault because they were trying to do too much in the game. They were trying to do Levolution and they were trying to do this. Well, they didn't take it out. It's still in the game. You know, the problem was the net code and it was this and it was, you know, it's all network related stuff, which is run on whose servers? I mean, so, but all right. Sorry for going off on that. So what'd you play?
Not time for me to rant. I did play a new game. I stupid impulse buys. That's where this digital is going to kill me. Zombie Driver Ultimate Edition. Yes, I actually paid $15 for Zombie Driver. It's okay. It's you're like driving in this car and you're shooting, or you've got like you drive over like a weapon pickups, so you can pick up like machine guns or flamethrower, stuff like that. You pick up health, you pick up nitrous, and you try to drive through the map, doing different missions and killing zombies. That's essentially all it is. It's a good-looking game. It's a little bit tough to drive. It's a little hard to drive the car, but yeah, it was something to do. I just wanted something different.
Yeah, I was kind of noticing that when you were playing it. It's almost like reversing, backing up. I was watching on Twitch, so Wing was streaming it, and I was watching it, and I was laughing because you're just running over groups of zombies and stuff. So it looks like a little fun game to play. I mean, it reminds me of the what's the game where Smash TV? Big money, big prizes, you know, where the guys are running around just shooting people.
Yeah.
So you're just driving around shooting. Yeah. So
it's a fun little game. It's not bad. I can't, I really don't have any complaints for it. So it's interesting. The one I do have some complaints on is Watch Dogs. I've been trying to complete Watch Dogs. I want to get it done because I'm in Act 4 and I got stuck and I got a little ticked off here and wondering if I'm going to be able to complete this game or not. I want to get it done because Tuesday I'm going to be all on to Sniper Elite 3. So I wanted to get this, at least the campaign on this, done before that came out. And it looks like it might not happen. But I'm in a part of the game where, and I don't want to give away too much. Some people have been, I posted in the Facebook group, some people kind of tried to give me some ideas, even though I've tried those. But I'm in a part where every freaking cop in Chicago seems to be on my block. And they're all after me with everything they've got. And it's just, no matter what I do, I can't get away. And I even noticed in this game that, like, if you get into the water and you can get on a boat, no one can chase you, it seems like. I even tried that, and they blew up my boat with one shot. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. It's just like, all of a sudden this game that I've had no problems getting away from the cops, that I've not had a hard time with, all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're going to take your easy skill level and we're going to boost it up to the hardest or insane level just because we can and we're a sadistic developer. It's just like, what the heck? It's like the whole framework of the game has changed. It's just ridiculous. I'm really frustrated, and you guys can watch
Captain.
what I went through if you want on Twitch. I actually was recording all this, and you can tell as I was starting to curse, I was getting a little ticked off. But it's actually out there if everybody wants to watch it. But, I'm like, I even tried hiding. I even hid, and they never saw me. And all of a sudden the cops they just come right to me. They were blocks and blocks away when I went into this garage, shut the door, and hid in the car, and they just pulled right up behind the garage. It's like, get out! And they start shooting at you. It's like, come on, it's ridiculous. No one saw me go into that freaking thing, so it's annoying.
Hit up Captain Hook when you have a chance. He's trying to type it out. How possibly do you get through it? But you'll have to hit him up on live or something so you can explain it. Because it sounds like at this point, take a tip and beat it so you don't get as frustrated. So.
But yeah. Anyway, so that's what I've been playing, and that's pretty much it. So.
All right.
I want to get back to Peggle 2. They got a new boss out.
Bum, bum, bum. All the DLC dropped.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
all right.
But.
Well.
All right, that's it.
Before we hit news, I saw a couple people in chat. I know I was covering what I was playing when they were typing, and it was kind of the chat's lively today. It's nice. So I'm reading off the clues. We're coming up on our second clue. So real quick for everybody. I'm writing off clues that's going to lead you to an answer of a character who was in a game on either the Xbox, Xbox One, or Xbox 360, and it doesn't have to be an exclusive game. So, the first clue was, I have a brother, or is it a sister? And the second clue is, my sibling and I are very poor. So, first clue, I have a brother, or is it a sister? And the second one is, my sibling and I are very poor. So, that's the two. And I just posted in the thing, it's this xboxlife.com/contest, where you can submit your answer.
Yeah, your links are being deleted, bro.
Huh?
It's not showing you. I don't know if you're not logged in correctly, but when I look at the list, it says deleted link on all your posts. And when I pull up the list of people here, it says you're a moderator.
I see it.
I see the link.
Yeah, I see it just fine.
I'm seeing deleted link. Okay, well, at least it's working. It must be something on this end.
Okay.
Weird. I think whatever they updated probably broke something, so. Okay, cool. At least everybody else is seeing it.
And Jesus is trying to cause trouble. That's kind of weird to say. He's sitting there saying that I already gave him the answer, so don't even try anymore. And he says my link is showing up on his side. So.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Okay, cool.
So, this is our first attempt at our new news section. And this is just going to be, what we saw out there instead of how in the old way we were kind of going one by one. This is news in 2 minutes. So I'm going to give you 9 bits of news in 2 minutes this week. And here we go. All right. We spoke last week about Bungie leaving the Xbox fans behind. We had a little discussion. Do we feel jaded or whatnot at Bungie? And it seems kind of like how they're, sitting us in the back seat and just being all happy-go-lucky with their PS4 fans. The Bungie community manager, David, I'm going to say Dag, assured that the content that they have, because of the whole exclusivity thing, will appear on Xbox One and 360 in the future. They are not alienating the Xbox community. And what we've heard is that the content will be exclusive for 1 year. So probably look for it in 2015, but it's not official yet, let's say. So he's just assuring us Xbox people that Bungie still loves us. I mean, he even came to quote that we are making the game on the Xbox 360 and Xbox One. So there you go. Hopefully everybody's satisfied now. For those who did not get in the PS4 alpha and really want to play Destiny, you'll be able to play on the Xbox One and 360 in late July. Rise Son of Rome, the sequel, has been canceled. It seems Microsoft and Crytek cannot agree with who owns the official rights to the game. Also, Crytek might have also canceled another new IP. Nobody's really sure what it was, and Crytek is currently working on Homefront: The Revolution, and a free MOBA. If everybody plays any MOBAs like Dota 2 or League of Legends, they're currently working on a MOBA called Arena of Fate. The other free-to-play game that they had, Warface on Xbox, isn't doing too well, and it's kind of rumored that Crytek may be having money issues. So, no Rise Son of Rome sequel. For those who watched Wing's Twitch stream, you would have seen him playing Zombie Driver Ultimate. That is available on Xbox One. So, Titanfall news, new game modes, balancing, and fixes have been detailed. I'll leave it to all the Titanfall fans to go through the list or to locate it online, so I'm not reading through all of them. But I did see that there's 14 new burn cards for your Titan, and there's going to be 2 new game modes called Marked for Death and Last Titan Standing. They will be a part of a featured game modes playlist rotation, and they are only temporary, so play them while they're out there. New Xbox Idea Xbox games. There's 4 of them available coming this week. Other than Zombie Driver, you have RBI Baseball, and I swear if we have to mention RBI Baseball one more time on this show, I'm going to go insane. Okay.
Nice.
I see a roundtable for next week, Rob.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
about it.
So RBI Baseball, jeezy cow. Another World and Contrast. So some people talking about Contrast in the on the chat. Next, number 7. The fans of Afro Samurai are in for a little treat. Afro Samurai 2: Revenge of the Bear is in development. A former Namco Bandai producer and his team at Redacted Studios is working on the title. We don't have any release date as of now, but under development. Wing may enjoy this next game since he's a fan of the Warhammer series, but Space Hulk Deathwing will be Xbox One's first Warhammer shooter. I'm going to say Cyanide Games and Focused Home Interactive will be working on the title. No release date at this point, but they do know that it's being developed on the Unreal Engine. Finally, number 9, Alien Isolation will have everybody jumping and crying for help in beautiful 1080p on both Xbox One and PS4. So just be happy there's enough P's to satisfy everybody. Everybody will be happy. So
Nice.
that's it. 9 stories. I know it was a little more than 2 minutes, but that's the idea, to just get it all out there. So, before we start our roundtables, clue number 3. So, first clue, I have a brother, or is it a sister? Second clue, my sibling and I are very poor. Third clue, I was killed by the town mayor. I was killed by the town mayor. All right.
I would
Next.
have no clue, to be honest, if I hadn't read it.
Oh,
So
the later clues down at the bottom will help. So.
yeah, no, this is good to make it harder.
Yep.
So, and I mean, some people may have already figured it out, but I wouldn't have.
Yeah. Well, I'd have to ask Rob if anybody submitted any answers yet. So, but all right. So, do you want to hit the first topic for our roundtable?
Sure.
We'll repeat that. Repeat the trivia question 3. I was killed by the town mayor.
Oops, and I got the wrong image up. There we go. And let's restart this. Hey, you're supposed to restart video, not. There we go. Go back to the start. There we go. Okay, so today, one of the things I want to talk about was that it has been reported that the Xbox One version and the Xbox 360 versions of Forza Horizon 2 are going to be different. So there's going to be things such as the dynamic weather that we've seen in some of the awesome trailers, with the rain and all that type of stuff. And drivatars are only going to be in the Xbox One version. Neither of those features will be in the 360 version. Now, personally, I think this is a really great way for a developer to give new features to those that have purchased the Xbox One, and without forgetting about all those 360 gamers. So the 360 gamers are still going to get the game, but they're not going to get some of the new features. Personally, I think it's a great way. That way, you don't just kill off a franchise on older hardware, where a lot of people are going to miss out if they didn't buy the new hardware. But yet, those of us that are buying everything on the Xbox One, that we're going to gain a little bit new stuff. We're going to have some more features that we would expect on a next-gen console. I would love to see other developers do this. I don't expect many that will do this. I think they will feel like there'll be too much uproar from the community. But, I think we have to move on, and you have to. And I think this is the best way to move on and entice people to, hey, you know what? Maybe I do want to upgrade to the new hardware because look at what the games are offering. If it's, this way you can still offer those, how many 80 million consoles out there on 360, they can still get these games. They just won't have as many features. So personally, I like it. I would love to see more devs do this. I don't expect them to, but what do you guys think about, with this new, the last gen and then the current gen, and how they cut it off? Eventually they're going to just be like, oh, we're on to the next gen now. We're just not going to support 360 anymore.
Yeah, the way I see it, a developer has a couple of different avenues to handle this sort of thing. Number one being that they'll release a game, basically, that is kind of built for the legacy system. And the new version is crippled of sorts, meaning that it's just basically the same as what the old system can handle, except maybe it looks a little prettier. The other way that they could handle it is developing for the new system, throwing in all these features, and then, hey, the old system can't support it, so they just don't even release anything for the old system. And so everybody that has a legacy system, they basically lose out. What they've done in terms of Forza Horizon 2 is they've kind of given you two separate games along the same line, and they handle both systems in probably like the best way that both systems can be handled. So, for example, it gives you all of the Xbox 360, everything that the 360 can do, everything that you're used to on the 360, and then all this extra stuff that the Xbox One can handle because of the whole cloud business, because it's a much more powerful system. It can do that as well. And there's a fringe benefit of having those two games, which aren't exactly the same game from what they were saying, right?
Right.
It's going to be two similar games based on the same premise.
The 360, in fact, the 360 version is actually made by a different developer.
Exactly.
Was it Playground Games is making the Xbox One version?
Yeah, that's right.
And there was a different developer for the 360. I mean, it's going to be the same game, just minus some features, is still my understanding.
I almost thought it was going to be slightly different. So it wasn't going to be a carbon copy game with weather and drivatars thrown in. I thought it was going to be almost kind of like, Forza Horizon 2A and Forza Horizon 2B, so that, now this is just me speculating because I'm kind of wondering if I'm understanding it right. If you have a 360, you can buy Forza Horizon 2 and have a great time playing this game because the game looks awesome and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually excited for it. But once you get an Xbox One, maybe since it's going to be a new experience, maybe it's worth buying it again and they can get a double purchase out of you. That's what I'm thinking immediately when I think it's going to be two different versions. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, Drivatars and Weather is not enough to call it a different version. It's a prettier game with a better AI, but it's not a different game.
Well, yeah, their article is it's odd because the article says that they are different games, that they will
Right? Yeah.
offer players a different experience. It's based on the
Yeah.
same world, based on the same themes,
Right.
but rather than thinking of them as the same game on different platforms, they are different games inspired by the same ideas. And
See,
then,
to me, that means it's going to be different races, different storyline, but it's in the same world
and
essentially. You know what?
it could be. Yeah, the 360 version's being done by Sumo Digital, makers of Sonic and Sega All Star Racing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that to me, that almost maybe it'll be more like a kart racer. Forza Horizon 2, the kart racer. And then the Xbox One is by Playground Games, and this one's based on the Forza Motorsport 5 engine. Well, obviously they're going to be different because you can't use the Forza Motorsport 5 engine on the 360. So it's probably going to
Right.
use like the same engine that Forza Horizon used, and the games still look great.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and so they did say that the Xbox One it will have the Drivatar, will have 1080p, and it will have the new weather system. So those will not be on the 360, obviously. But that kind of stands to reason. But I'm curious as to how different these games will actually be. I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't.
that was a good way of doing it. What do you guys think of saying, okay, let's have two different developers build a similar game for different platforms,
Well, that's what Titanfall did.
right?
I mean, and as far as these guys, as far as different, I think what they meant by different is not all in my opinion, the different what they mean by different is not all the features are there. That it's going to be the game. It's just not going to be prettier, and it's not going to have anything obviously that they need the Xbox One for.
Right.
So, and really, Rob, when you laid out your steps, the first step, the first option that you said they had was which is to develop the same game, and then at that point you're developing for the lowest common denominator.
Right. Exactly.
And that's, to me, no, don't you either don't make the game for the 360 at that point, or do what they're doing here. I mean, it's nice that they are making the game for the 360 because obviously if they can do it and they can do it cheap. See, this is the thing about the developers. They're not doing this to be nice, let's say. They're doing this
Yeah.
because they can make it cheap. They don't have to put all the stuff that they need to put in there, and they're going to make money off of it because they need to make money. I mean, if you look at Turn 10 or whatever, two Forza games in this short a period of time, within a year, that's a lot of money. And Forza 5 is Xbox One only. So this here hopefully helps them recoup some money for people who just have a 360. And it's nice for me because if I don't have an Xbox One and I want to buy this game because I didn't buy the first one, I could do that and play it. I mean, I like this. I think it's nice. I think developers need to lean more toward new generation, this generation. Let's build a new game. Let's think forward. Let's push forward. Oh, hey, it wouldn't take us this much to put out one for the last generation. It won't have all the bells and whistles because we need the new hardware to do it. But we could let some people experience, that game and go from there. So, I mean, I like it, but I don't like it if it is Rob's option one. If they're going
Right.
to do that. So it's like, you look at Titanfall, obviously they made it for the latest console and PC and stuff. I was really surprised they did the 360 version, and it got delayed, and really it's not as nice as the Xbox One version, and completely understandable. But to me, it was just like, I was very surprised they did it. And because I didn't think they would be able to do everything they would need to do, because that game is a big game. It's fast. It's got a lot of stuff going on, and I just didn't think maybe the 360 would be able to handle it. So, and I mean, you also, Rob, when you're thinking about games that are completely different, I think if you look at Assassin's Creed, that game there, they have Assassin's Creed Unity, which is the Xbox One version, and I don't even know what the 360 version is.
Oh, I thought they were all Unity, like the new version.
No, the one on the 360 actually has an entirely different name.
Okay.
Those games, as far as I understand, are different. But it's a new Assassin's Creed game for both consoles, so that's another way that they could do that if they want to. But to me, as a person who doesn't have an Xbox One, I'm saying push forward. I want the new stuff, and I've stated before that based on what Sony did and Microsoft making their decisions to rip out all that stuff we liked from when the Xbox One was coming out, I think gaming as a whole has stopped dead. They have stopped thinking. They have stopped trying to move forward, unless at some point in time they're going to bring back some of those features that, they've been slowly piecing them in, but you never know. So,
Just on a side note, one thing I really wish we could get rid of in next gen or current gen is collectibles. Like, come on. You can't come up with a better way to keep me involved in a game than making me go hunt down 100 collectibles.
Yeah.
So, that's annoying.
Oh.
So, but I'll enjoy doing them in Forza, like tearing through the signs and finding the garage things and stuff like that. Like, making it part of the game, I think, is fun. But, like these games that are like, where like the collectible has nothing to do with the game. Find 75 rocks.
Yeah.
What's a rock have to do? It's just. But anyways, I digress. I don't want to get off topic.
Nope. So, but that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, so I guess I'm really kind of curious to see what they officially mean by different game. Whether it's truly a different game or if it's, what do they call Tomb Raider? Definitive Edition, or it's just nicer graphics, pretty much the same.
Well, the one they stated in one of those articles that it was quoted as saying, like, when we turned the Drivatar on, it completely changed the game. So I think that that's what they're referring to. I still believe these are going to be identical, with the exception of the Drivatar, because the Drivatar gives them AI, like, based on all of us. So it really changes the game up instead of it being scripted AI. So the 360 version is going to have scripted AI. The Xbox One's going to have Drivatars, which is all, as you guys know. Hi, SpongeBob. As you guys know, I smash into everybody. So, people are even saying already, oh great, that just means in Forza Horizon 2 that Wingman's going to be smashing into me. It's true. Rubbing is racing, so. But I don't think these games are going to be completely different. I think they're going to be all the same premise, same story. There's just going to be features missing. So somebody who's a 360 gamer might be upset, but again, if the 360 can't do the Drivatar, it can't do the cloud computing, it can't do these different things, it probably doesn't have the processing power to be able to do even the weather, So, they're going to make use of the hardware and give us those additional features. And so what I say to the 360 crowd is, don't be upset, be happy, because you're getting the game. You're still getting to play it. You're going to get the majority of it. You're going to miss a few percentage points, of what we're going to get, but at least you're getting the game to play. And for, developers, I would love to see more developers do this. Make those that have jumped on board early, let us benefit from our purchase by, not having to wait 2 years when they kill off the 360 completely and not develop for it before we start seeing truly next-gen games.
Yeah, because then you wonder why you even bought the console in the first place early? If you're just exactly.
If I'm playing the same thing, except that it might look a little prettier. I love my Xbox One, I really do. There's a lot of stuff that now that with all the updates they finally got it to almost where it should be, but still, this I like. I think this is a great way. You're not cutting off the old guys, so the old generation. You're not cutting them off completely, and you're giving those that have moved forward a little extra stuff in their game for the same price. I think it's cool. I think it's a good way to handle it.
Oh, ditto.
All right.
All right.
Cool. All right.
Let's keep
Rob,
rolling.
why don't we take on to the next one then?
Sure. All right. So, one thing that we had a long time ago was not a long time ago, last year, was when the Xbox One was being announced and what we were going to get and all the features and stuff. One thing that we had was family sharing, where up to 10 people could essentially share one purchased game. And how that was originally lined out, if I remember correctly, how it was lined out to be was that somebody would have the game and they could share it with up to 9 people or 10 or 9 people. The other people could play it by themselves if the original owner was not playing, or if the original owner was playing, they could play multiplayer with them. Is that correct? I believe that's right. Am I close?
Yes.
Okay. So that was a really cool feature. And of course, everybody started complaining about all sorts of stuff. And then all this stuff went away. When
complaining about all sorts of stuff wasn't complaining about all sorts of stuff. It was complaining about they couldn't sell their game.
Yes.
That was the big thing. That was the big thing. How am I going to sell my game back?
They didn't want online. They didn't want Microsoft spying on them, even though their Apple and Android phones are spying on them.
Yeah.
It's like, again.
Yeah, they're complaining about
the GPS is turned on. The camera, you're given access to every application to turn your camera on. It's on. It's connected 24/7, and you're worried about your console having to check it once a day.
Yeah.
Well,
it was, on a side note, there was a Google I/O conference the other day.
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
Yeah, they had said something like every day there's like 95 million or 95 billion. I don't even know. I don't remember how much it was. It was 95 something, I think. 95. Let's go with million. 95 million selfies taken with Android phones, and they even know how many of them are duck faces.
Oh my gosh!
So you get like all around you. Companies know what you're doing. Your cable company knows what channels you're watching. DirecTV knows the same thing, and people complain because they can't sell back a game, and it's just ridiculous. It's just focusing on one thing, sort of like, look at that one thing right there, that piece of paper on the ground, and they're freaking out about it. But there's a guy pickpocketing them, and somebody's stealing their identity, and they don't care about that just because they're focused on that one thing.
It's funny. It's like, I don't want to be forced to buy the Kinect with my Xbox. I don't want that thing listening to me and watching me all the time, and I don't know it. You know what? I'm going to go out to Facebook right now and talk about how I don't want to be watched and I want my privacy.
Yeah.
That's the stupidity. And sorry, not everybody that owns Facebook is stupidity. It's the stupidity of, I want my privacy, but I have a Facebook.
Yeah.
Everybody has their privacy. You don't have to go out to Facebook, but if you have a Facebook account, read that fine print and tell me what they can and can't do. But you're sharing it out to the world. I mean, it's just, that's
even
funny.
Your pictures, your photos, if you go and read,
they own them.
Advertisers have the right now to take your pictures and use them.
Yep.
So
you put a picture on Facebook, somebody can take your picture and put it in a commercial, and you can't sue them for it because you put it on Facebook. Yep.
Yeah, it's essentially not yours. Yeah, it's not
public
yours
domain
anymore.
Right.
Yep.
Well, it's a property of Facebook.
Yep.
Just like your videos on YouTube belong to YouTube and Google, your emails belong to everybody. You don't own anything, people. We're in the world of everything is subscription based, and we don't own anything anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
And technically, when you buy a piece of software,
Yeah.
It is not yours. You're purchasing a license to use it. So technically, that game is not yours. Even though you're holding that disc, it is not your property.
Right. And that's the thing with EA. When EA goes and shuts off servers and stuff like that, they're like, oh, I bought this game. I should be able to play it online. No, 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 no. You bought a license to play that game. We can take it off whenever we want. So, but
Yeah,
sorry,
it's
Rob,
like
I
when
didn't
you
mean to
go-
interrupt, but
Oh, no worries, man. I mean, I was just gonna. I was
that's
just
the
gonna
round
say,
table.
along the same lines, you go to a movie theater, you buy a ticket for $10 or whatever it is. You go in there and you watch, I don't know, an X-Men movie. That one ticket is not unlimited viewing of that movie. You come back the next day, they're like, sorry, bud, you got to buy, pay again.
Yeah.
It's, you just got to get used to it. That's how it is. But anyway, so the family sharing was one of the things that Microsoft was going to do for us back when, and I've said it before, back when we were going to get a better console than what we got today, thanks to all the whiners. That
Oh, no,
so-
babies.
yeah, so anyway. There was a interview with Phil Spencer, and he basically said that the Xbox One family sharing, and I guess there really was no clarification exactly if it was just like it was before or variation, but that's essentially not off the table. It's something that is a definite possibility. I guess there's some problems with it now, because there's DRMs on the discs,
Right.
and I guess that's something that they would need to work through. And
Right.
what he's basically said is he hasn't given up on those ideas. There's a lot more complexity, but it's definitely part of their overall product roadmap.
Yeah. See, the DRM problem is there's DRM on every game. So I mean, Sony has to deal with DRM, and so does Microsoft. There's nothing that's changing there, but the whole DRM part is the part of needing to be able to check in once every 24 hours. So you install the game. If you have the disc, you install it on your console. Your console has to check in every 24 hours. And that's that's the part when they turned around, they ripped all that out. I was just like, oh man, that is not a good solution. And the solution they need is I check in every 24 hours, and if I can't check in 24 hours and you want to play the game, then you put the disc in. That to
Right.
me is a better solution. And I mean, maybe in the future we'll see it that way, and then we can all go back and say, remember that time when we were doing a show, we said this is what they should do. Kind of like how game DVRing and stuff like that. But that's what I think they need to do to get back to that point. But you have, like you said, all the people whining like, oh, I don't want to connect 24/7. What about all these people? And a majority of those people were Sony people. I'm
Right.
gonna pull them out and say it was Sony people, and because it was the fanboys. It was the Sony fanboys because they needed to find something to spark to complain about, saying, oh, you can't sell your games like we can, and oh, you have to be always online. And then what Sony do during E3, they come out and they put a statistic out that says 90-something% of all PS4s are online. So I just when I saw that, I just looked and I was just shaking my head. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. All those people complaining, and now here they are touting that 90-something% of their PS4s are online. So, but
Yeah.
all right. I'm very excited about this. To me, I said every little thing. They're slowly piecing every part in, and when every
hope
part
so.
goes in and people use it, and they're always like, "Oh, this is great." I just want to take them and beat their head in, because this is what we want. And this right here, this is like when I was our previous conversation, this is the part I was kind of hinting on. I was like, you never know. We weren't moving forward. Now we're stagnant, just sitting here, gaming stagnant. Nobody's pushing forward for the future unless Microsoft puts some things back in that they wanted to do. This is one of them. This is going to the future. Digital games. I can share. And when we say family plan, it's 10 friends or family. I'll be able to, like, Mark will be able to share a game with me, and I'll be able to share a game with Mark. We don't have to hand the disc. I don't have to mail the disc to Mark, to get him to, to be able to play my game. So
Yeah, I mean, that's what I liked about Xbox One is that they are trying to. We called it the next gen. Well, next gen is okay. Everybody's online. I don't have anybody. Okay, I've got well over 100 friends on my live account. None of them are anybody that I go and play with like at their house.
Right.
Everything's online. I play with my friends and stuff all through Xbox Live. So, I mean, this just expands and makes it easier for me to play games with Brun and Rob. If Rob doesn't have something new because he doesn't know if he wants it, or then hey, let's play it together. Here, I'll share it with you, and he can still buy it himself.
Yeah, and it's one thing I was kind of just wondering about was maybe this is one of the reasons why we don't really have demos, is because if you had this feature in place, you would not need demos. Because if one of your friends had it, you don't need a trial. You don't need a demo. You just play the real game with them, or you play their copy. And then if you get to the point of where it's like, hey, Rob was telling me about Wolfenstein. I played it with him. And, dang, I can't play it right now because he's playing it. I'm going to buy my own copy.
Right.
So I can play it whenever I want. And that's a much better demo or trial than the scripted, limited demos ever could be. And maybe that's the reason why we don't have them.
Yeah, one thing that Microsoft's doing here for me is, and just to add on to your point, is I don't have to go pay $6.99 down at the movie store to rent this game for 5 days.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just like, it's just the same thing as renting. To me, it's just like, hey, or letting somebody borrow the game. There's nothing illegal about this. They just have to make sure that Rob isn't playing it, and then 15 other people are playing it, or 60 other people are playing it, or your 10 friends or family, that not all 10 of you are playing it at once. And I understand that. If that's that to me isn't a limitation. That's kind of expected. That's an expectation that I'm not going to be able to play the game, with 9 other people. Not everybody can play the game. Like, it's cool that they're even going to let one person play with you if that's the case. Mm-hmm. So.
And the thing is, too, it's pretty restrictive. If you look at the graphic that I got up on the screen,
mm-hmm.
it's still pretty restrictive. So it's neat, but then again, this is where I think they're still going to end up making sales. So, like, I can play anything in my library, and one of my friends can play anything in my library. As long as one of my friends are playing one of my shared games, none of the other 8 people can play anything in my library. So there can only be one friend playing in that library at a time.
Okay.
So if it's a new game, so it does limit. It's not like Democulus buys everything. So I always kept telling him, dude, I'm going to be your brother, man.
Yeah.
I want to be on your list. But if he's got his brother is a gamer, and he's got a bunch of other friends on there, and they get in and he's playing with his brother, I'll never be able to play that game. And you could run into that of, well, I can never play it because somebody's always beating me to it. Somebody's always in his library.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's always happening, then, well, I'm going to be stuck. I'm going to have to buy the game anyways.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's not like a free-for-all. It's not like
no.
I just have 24/7 access to this game and I never have to pay for it. Never have to pay for it. That's not necessarily the case. If I just said, Rob and I are going to be friends and that's it, well, then, yeah, Rob would have full access to my library at all times if I never added anybody else in. So I still think it's a great idea. And I think, I do. And what I do like about Xbox is they already had built a platform for this where Sony hasn't. So Sony's going to have to come up with something to attach to their current OS, where Microsoft's going to say, we're just going to flip a switch on.
Right.
They're going to have to make some other adjustments, but they already built this. This was what it was supposed to do. So, it won't. I think it'll be a lot easier for them to implement this.
Yeah, and this all went away in that 50 meg or 500 meg download or
It was
whatever.
there in
it
the
was.
box.
Yeah.
I had it until I connected to the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time. So, but this is cool. I think we will end up with all the stuff that we were promised. I think it will eventually get its way in here.
Yeah,
So,
and the thing is like, let's let me hypothetically throw something out there. Is we go to E3 2 years ago, Microsoft comes out, says what they're going to do, says $500. Sony comes out, says what they're going to do, says $400. People complain about Microsoft. Microsoft rips it all out, and here we are, present day. Now Microsoft starts putting these in slowly, like they're doing. People are liking it, or you have a lot of people saying, "Hey, I like the original way. I like the original way. You ripped that out because of the 2% of 12-year-old Sony fanboys that were complaining about it."
Vocal.
Yeah, the
fanboys.
vocal group. And here now you're putting it in, and now there's a vocal group that likes it. Now all of a sudden, guess who the only company is that's doing this? And now who's playing catch up? Who's fallen behind at that point in time? So you can sit there, if Microsoft came and threw all this stuff in tomorrow. So Microsoft has all this digital sharing and all this stuff in there. Now you have a console that does all this. People are going to enjoy it because they're sharing games with each other across the world, if that's possible, across the nation, let's say. And you got this other company who's still talking about, DDR5 memory and 1080p. And it's just like, now which company has fallen behind because they played it too safe. And that's where I think, Microsoft, when he's sitting, when Phil Spencer's coming out and saying, hey, it's not off the table yet. We've all sat there and kind of watched, read about him and or watching him. He is all about like pushing forward. Like he's all about gaming. I think he has a great vision forward of saying, this is what we were going to do and we're going to do it, and even ripping out the Kinect, people think that's a step back. Hey, people wanted it. People wanted the Xbox One without Kinect. So he gave it to them. And now I think it's like, hey, we need to get back to moving gaming forward, and I can't wait for it. And honestly, if they
desire for Kinect.
Yeah.
When people get it and then they realize, oh man, they talk to their friends are doing it, and I use my voice on it all the time. It's funny because I've actually, dude, it's become, I've gotten so used to doing it. I'll be downstairs or I'll be in the bedroom, and I'll instinctively start to like tell it to turn off, and I'm like, oh, I can't do that in here. Where's the remote? And I'm fumbling around for the remote, and I'm like, man, I wish I had an Xbox One in here, so I could just tell it to turn off.
Yeah.
It's like once you get used to it, and I don't even use it for everything, but I do it to snap stuff. I do it to turn on and off. I haven't done it to change channels yet. I'm still using my remote for that, but you can change channels with your voice. I mean, once you've got that, it's like, hey, this works, and it does work. And if anybody says it doesn't, run yourself back through the voice tutorial. Run it through again.
Right.
And let it relearn. So it's a technology. It's so much better than the old one was. It's a lot better than I expected it to be. It's not perfect, but it's a lot further along than the other one was. And I don't game with it. I just strictly use it for other stuff, and it's awesome. So I did it the other day. I launched Amazon Instant videos, and I got all the way there and played this video. Never once had to pick up the controller. Just all by my voice. I was able to go to the different pages and select the one I wanted and select the episode, and it played.
Yeah.
So I think they'll continue to do things outside of gaming that will drive people to, once they bought into it, they're like, man, I kind of wish I would have got the Kinect. I don't think they're going to abandon it. They said they're not going to. They put way too much money into it. You know.
They're not abandoning it. They're just giving what people wanted. And right now GameStop is taking Connects and giving people $40 for them.
Yeah, and they're going to
So-
turn around and sell them for 80.
Probably.
Or
But
100.
yeah, or under. Yeah. So I mean, if anybody wants to go do it and then wants to buy a Connect, you're going to be able to probably buy one in retail or go to GameStop and buy one for cheap. Now, if you go do that, that's completely up to you. But don't go around and be like, "Well, I got mine for $460." Blah 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 blah. So, I mean, all right.
All right. So, anyways, I think we've talked that one into the ground.
Meh.
We've
That's
gone
what we're
we've
here
gone
for.
Off track. So, who's got? Was it Rob? You did that one, didn't you?
You
Yep.
bet.
So, Braun.
I think you're up, aren't you?
Oh, am
Sure.
I? No, I started
Right.
the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, he did the first one. So, in July, so with Xbox One, we got to have the games with gold, or what are they? How are they? Is it games with gold with those guys too?
Yes.
So, in July, Xbox Live members across Xbox One and 360 will get a round of new free games to download. I use new free games lightly. Xbox
Yeah.
One Gold members will get Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition, which replaces June's Halo Spartan Assault. And Max, the Curse of the Brotherhood, will carry over and also be free in July on the Xbox One. 360s will get Gotham City Imposters and from July 1st to 15th, and they will get Battle Block Theater from 16th to 31st. So, my question is it okay? What do you guys think about a game that was free last month carrying over and being free again? Because to me, if I did have an Xbox One, and actually I got these games for free, to me, I want to say it's okay right now. To me, it's kind of a timing thing. Since this is brand new for the Xbox One, and there isn't that many games out, and I know there's a lot of games, but you know, what do you expect, Microsoft? How much stuff do you expect Microsoft to give away for free this early in the game when it comes to the games with gold? So, but I'm going to say it's okay right now. This is my opinion. I think it's okay right now. Now, if they did it for 3 months in a row, it's a little weird there. Or if they did it like next year, they did, after having a large library of games to get, that they could give away a year's worth, let's say, of older games to give away. Doing a same game twice in a row is kind of like I wouldn't like it then. So, but what do you guys think? I mean, you guys both have Xbox Ones, so what's your opinion on it?
Here's a question, and there was a little bit of a discussion about this on the Facebook group, and I don't remember there ever being a clear, definitive answer. And that's when they announced. Okay, actually, when they announced Games with Gold for the 360, it was 2 a month, first half, second half. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
When they announced the Xbox One, what was that going to be like? Do you guys remember? Was it going to be one title a month?
It's two titles a month. It's still 2 titles a month. But
Was that the plan for every month or just the first month?
I think it's I think it's every month. I think the only big stipulation that was different between 360 and Xbox One is you only get the Xbox One games for gold. You can only play them if you continue to use gold or pay for gold. Where the Xbox 360, if your gold expires, you own those games. These ones here are more like you have to put them in your library the time that they're available for games with gold, but then you always have to have gold to play them. Like if your gold expires, you can't play those, but once you renew your gold, you can play them again. So it's very similar. It's basically matching what like the PlayStation Plus is doing.
Right.
So, but I still believe it was 2.
The announcement, and I've got it up, it says they don't state how many you'll get. But they started off that the Curse with 2 games. Okay. So that you're going to get those 2 games, Max and Halo. were going to be free, plus a deal of Crimson Dragon at 50% off. So they started out saying with 2 games plus the deals. They said when the June system update is rolled out, you'll find a new hub in the Xbox One for exploring all the great benefits available to Xbox Live Gold members, including games with gold and deals with gold. We'll update you when the system update becomes available. So they never said it was going to be 2 games, but it's games with gold, and the 360 has been giving out 2 games every month for over a year now or more. So
Yeah.
I mean, you just automatically would assume, which I know we should never assume, but
Right.
you just it's not illogical to think we're going to get 2 games. Now, the one difference that I do like is that both games on Xbox One are available on day 1, and they're available the entire month. So it's not like you get this one for 2 weeks and you got to download it during that window, or then the other one's in the next 2 weeks. So it is not. There are some other changes. These games are available the entire month, right from day 1. I don't like that Max is being dished out twice. Now, I understand it's a new console and that there is a limited amount of stuff out there, but would it really have killed them? 60-second shooter just came out. It's like $5. I mean, they could have just made a deal and said, we're going to put this out as a freebie instead of Max. You don't even have to go big. You could throw out an indie game for free. I think
Yeah.
that would have been, go with something like that. They just released 4 indie games the other day. Now, I don't know if anybody's looked in their game store. There's a lot of stuff. They're putting stuff out they're not even announcing. I went in the other day and I was like, when did these games get announced? When did these release?
Yeah.
There's just stuff there. It's like, okay, I didn't even know about this.
Oh, exactly.
And they could have
like
given away Loco Cycle. I mean, come on. Anybody that bought it on day 1. No one's buying that crap now. You could have given away anything. That was a day 1 game. You could have given that away for a month. There's things they could do. So I feel this is kind of crappy. I bought Max. I bought Halo. So I didn't get anything free last month. And now I'm only going to get 1 game free this month on the Xbox One. It's Guacamelee, which I don't even know what the heck that is, and I don't even care. It's not anything I'd be interested in, but I'll grab it.
Guacamelee. I've heard a lot about it. You'll probably a lot of people like it. They said it's a really fun game. So
okay, well, I mean, I'll try it out. It's free, and I'm not going to complain if I don't like it. It's free. But I do feel kind of slighted. And the first month I'm like, well, you know what? They got to get something out there, and obviously they picked great games. I'm like, this is awesome. These are great games. But then to see Max again, kind of like, what? That kind of irritated me. And so I don't like it. I think they if you're going to say you're going to do this and you have a history of giving 2 games away free every month, then you need to stick with 2 games, and it should be 2 new games every month because that's what you've been doing. But my concern here is this the way it's going to be on the Xbox One? Are they not going to give 4 games out every 2 months? It's only going to be 3 every 2 months? What's going to replace Max? Is that going to ride for 2 months as well to save money on their own end or something? I get that their library is low, but there's a lot of stuff coming out. And they talked about 100 indie games coming out before the end of the year. You could give away those.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you tell me you can't take, what do we got? August, September, we got 5 months. You couldn't take 10 games, 10 indie games and give those out of the 100? You could.
Right.
You could very easily do it. So I just, and I'm not necessarily I want indie games, but I'd rather have something different. I kind of feel this is a cop-out.
Right.
But I do like some of the deals, and there are things that we've got bonus outside of it. It's not I'm not like burning down Microsoft's offices over it. I'm just hoping that this isn't like what we're going to see going forward. It's like where they're going to let a game ride 2 months. And if no one complains about it, maybe they'll let it go 3 months. And then it's like, okay, you're not even close to what PSN or PS Plus is doing. But anyways, I'm done.
Well, me too.
Well, I can just throw in, I guess, one final thing in here. Like
One
for me
more
personally, one more time thing. So, okay, for June, I was going to say last month, but it's still June. For June, it was Max and Spartan Assault. So I had both of those prior, and I got nothing, basically. I got nothing new. But they're both good games. Max especially. I love that game. So I was telling everybody that I knew that had an Xbox One, you got to get this game. You got to get this game. Going into July, Max is there again. Personally, it really doesn't bother me too much. Guacamelee, I'll pick that one up. I know we talked about it, I think last week or the week before, but beyond that, I really don't know much about the game. I don't remember much about it. So out of these 2 months, I'm going to get one game. And you know what? I got two games from the 360 side of things because I'm double dipping because I have both systems. And to be honest, I really don't even have time to play all these games.
Right.
With little time I have right now, I just play Wolfenstein anyway, and maybe a little bit of gaming with my son. So just the fact that I didn't get two games on Xbox One really doesn't bother me. If this continues, my thoughts might change, but at the same time, 2 months ago, we did not get anything for the Xbox One. And if I get no games, it's no different. So for me, June was no different than May because I got no games for the Xbox One for free. And I just think it's a little funny to see Wing fired up about I didn't get my free game.
You and the
it's-
community.
It's
Some of the
not
other guys
that.
are-
It's
Yeah.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm teasing you, but
I'm not one of those that like I want.
I
Okay,
want
what
my
is it?
free
I want
stuff.
Sniper Elite 3 free.
Well,
It's
I
not
think
that. I'm concerned. It's like, and it didn't bother me last month because I'd already bought those games. I get it. It's a new console. There's not a lot out there. And I've enjoyed some of the old stuff on the 360 that a lot of people are complaining, oh, it's 6, 7 years old. I've said that on some games. Like, come on, let's get a little more current. And I understand we don't have a big library yet, but I still feel that I just hope that this is. I don't know why they did 2 months with the same game, and I hope that's not what we're going to see going forward, because this is the first time it's released, and we're getting the same game twice for 2 full months. So
right.
it's. I hope they don't continue. I hope this is not their plan to just give one game away every
Well,
month and then one every other month, or one for
let,
every 2 months.
let me throw this out as a possibility, and maybe I'm reaching here, but in order to do something like this, you have to have negotiations with the company that designed the game, so the publisher, the whatever, okay, and you have to have both parties to agree to this. So I would imagine, like Max, for example, Max is being given away for free, but it's really not free. The studio is surely being compensated somehow for this.
They get paid.
And exactly.
They get paid
Yeah.
a block set of money. Yes.
Yeah.
But whether
So
they would have made more by letting it sell for 2 months or not is, you never really know.
yeah. So it could be very possible that they had negotiations for another game and then somebody backed out and never completed, so they were forced to do Max again. I'm just throwing that out. That's a possibility.
Whatever. I'm not buying that crap. I did read an article recently about this very idea of free games. The developers said, the developer that was talking in the article, I apologize, I don't have it in front of me and I don't remember who it was, but they said it was really kind of a double-edged sword because it's great for smaller studios like some of these indies, or all these like self-publishing through the ID at Xbox program. It would be a great opportunity for them because it gets their game in front of a lot of people. It
Right.
allows people to see what the studio can do. So it's great on that front. However, it's bad on the other side because people perceive it as being free, which they perceive it as to not be any good. Max is awesome. I
Yeah.
loved it. It has its issues. Okay, there were a couple of issues. I did get a
hard.
little frustrated, but it is a platformer. But it was a fantastic game. I loved it.
It is.
And I think everyone should play this. And I know there's people in our chat right now that don't like it. But then again, he doesn't like anything that I like. So,
And
um,
if Max was a launch title, and about 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, but if it was a
yeah,
launch title, I think it would have been the best launch title that the Xbox One had. I mean, even better than Crisis and some of those other
it's
ones.
still a fantastic game, you
Awesome,
know.
awesome game.
But um, now that it's free, some people will perceive it as not being a good game because oh well, it's free. They're they can't there's that set perception of stuff that's free. So that's what the developer was saying. It really it is kind of that double-edged sword. And then going forward, people may not want to buy it if they're I missed out on it. Oh, and it was a freebie. It ain't going to be worth paying the $20 for it. So going free could completely kill off sales going forward of anybody that comes on later and misses out.
Yeah.
If they know it was free. So that was from the developer house. So it's really and then again they get money, but would they have made more in sales if they just left it on there? Or do they take the risk and say let's get our name out there and show people what we can do? So there is a lot to it, like you said.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens in August if
Yep.
Guacamelee is there.
If Guacamele's there or Max is there,
Yeah.
dude, I'm gonna.
No,
you're
no,
gonna-
no, no.
You'll really see me rant.
Maybe
You'll see me rant.
it could be
Some
a
people are
sliding.
praying for it to be there now just to hear it.
Max
Yeah.
was there for 2 months. Guacamelee is now there for 2 months, and then August is Guacamelee and Spartan Assault. Oh, that would be like there'd be like a nuclear cloud over Arizona.
Poof. All right.
Wing goes crazy.
I'll pull a freak. What's his name? What's that dude that goes nuts on the YouTube all the time? Francis.
Oh,
And it's just an act, but I'll be doing that, and it won't be an act.
I don't want to see you singing and twerking. Okay.
All right. I think any other last thoughts on this before Braun gives his
Hey,
his
one
thoughts?
one more thing I wanted to mention. Let's continue.
Oh my goodness.
all right. So, next clue. Clue number 4. So, first clue, I have a brother, or is it a sister? Second one is my sibling and I are very poor. The third one is I was killed by the town mayor. And the fourth one is my sibling is a descendant of a hero in our country. He also grows up to be a hero himself.
Dun dun dun.
So, my sibling is a descendant of a hero in our country. He or she also grows up to be a hero himself.
Dun dun dun.
Dun,
There's
dun,
still
dun.
one more, right? One more.
Yes. One more.
Clue? All right. Okay, so we're gonna move on then to our community, and we did get a voicemail very last minute. It's not in the show this week. We promise you, we will have your voicemail for the person that sent it in. We will have it in next week's show, and you'll be special, episode 300.
That's right.
So we did get it. It was just too late to get it put together and thrown in here. But we won't forget you. And so again, you want to join our Facebook community. Of course, you got to give up your privacy rights and let Big Brother watch you to join our group. But that's just the way it is. All right. So Connect is watching anyway, so why not tell Facebook? So you can join our group. Just look
Yeah.
for This Xbox Life. We got a great community out there, very active. Also, don't forget, Rob, have you posted the trivia question out there yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, so
It'll
Rob,
happen shortly.
Rob will be posting a trivia question out there tonight. That will be your second opportunity or third opportunity to win $60 gift card from us this week. We'll announce winners next week. So be sure to join our Facebook group and put yourself in to try to answer that trivia question for a chance to win. You can email us, contact@thisxboxlife.com. Follow us on Twitter. And, of course, use our voicemail by going to our website and clicking the voicemail box on the right-hand side. Other than that, we have nothing else this week. Like I said, we'll get our voicemail next week. and so we can jump into our new games.
All right. So retail releases for the week of June 29th or 30th, whatever it is in your country, I guess. We've got one thing for the Xbox 360. That's Sniper Elite 3.
Yeah.
This is a game that a bunch of us are excited about. I'm really looking forward to it, and we'll see. We'll see how it is. Xbox One, also the same game, Sniper Elite 3. So, did I do that okay, Mark? Because I did not combine them.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Make sure
I
you
did this.
make sure you switch the picture and then put the picture back up.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm like, you know what? After what Rob did last week, forget him. One image is all you're getting. Not even box
Yeah.
art.
So it
Not even
doesn't
doing
say
box
like
art.
Sniper Elite 3, Xbox 360, Sniper Elite 3, Xbox
Yeah.
One. No.
Hey, I like to show the different box arts, even though they're
Oh,
identical.
there you go. There you go.
Even though they're identical.
So yeah, we've got those two titles. That's the big deals this coming week, and we'll see if there's any other stuff for Xbox One that creeps up. I tend to find out about this because I follow Major Nelson on Twitter. So he usually posts stuff. Hey, this game's out this week, and I'm like, what? Where'd this come from? Not that I'm upset about it being out, but that's how I found out about the what's that game? Flashback, Another World, and those other ones that came out. So
Contrast.
that's all we. What's that?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So that's what we've got this week.
We
Alright.
miss too Outlast. I don't know if we talked about. We talked about it last week. Yeah, we did. We mentioned it
Mhm.
was coming out. I guess
Yeah.
that's a pretty scary game, huh?
Yes, I watched Darkness 429 or Tim stream it on his stream. He did a 24-hour stream, and I was watching him play it. And I'm like this ear, like I know my camera, but I was like sitting like this, watching him play. And then he runs around the corner, and this thing jumps out at him, and I'm like, whoa! I'm like flying back, almost tipped my chair backwards. I was laughing so hard. And the funny thing is it's funny because when people watch him, they screenshot his face because he goes, like that, and they screenshot his face, and then they just post on Twitter pictures of his face when he's playing. It's so funny, but yeah,
Oh, nice.
he had me. I was jumping backwards. It was crazy.
Actually, I had a moment like that this past week on Wolfenstein, because they've got these, I guess, cyborg dogs, like the German Shepherds, and one came out of nowhere. I didn't even see or hear the thing. Next thing I know, there's this huge dog, like, just taking up the whole screen. It scared the bejesus out of me. Family friendly. It scared the heck out of me, and I actually pushed back. I'm on hardwood floor with wheels or casters on my chair. I knocked over all this stuff behind me. I mean, this tower of stuff just came falling over. It was funny afterwards, but yeah, it was a similar type of thing.
I just posted a link to Darkness 429's Twitch page. This guy, he's like right now, he streams like all day long during the week. He's a
Yep.
full-time streamer. He does a fantastic stream. He's very involved with the community, very involved with people that he's got quite a big following going. So, and he's a friend of ours. So, if you go and check him out for the first time, just type in there, say, hey, the guys at this Xbox Life sent me. I think you'll enjoy his stream. He's a PC gamer, does a lot of Battlefield Titanfall, all kinds of stuff. And it's just a very enjoyable. It's like I'll put him on during the days I'm working and just listen to him.
Yeah.
He's a pretty funny guy. So
Yeah, as you watch him, you collect dark coins, and then he'll do giveaways, and then you'll spend your dark coins that you've earned toward tickets, and then he does a random draw, and he gave away Watch Dogs and things like that over the weekend. So pretty cool.
So where might one be able to buy Sniper Elite 3?
Dude, you're jumping. You're jumping.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh, you want my
It's
trivia?
Brun. Yeah, do
No,
your
where
thing.
would you buy
No,
Sniper
no,
Elite
no, no,
3?
no, 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 no. Come on. Brun, do your thing.
No,
Okay.
we're still on
No.
we're still on the games.
You're killing me, man. I had something special.
Okay,
Oh well.
fine. I'll just
Never
go back.
mind.
Never mind. Nope.
Okay. Final trivia clue. Final trivia clue. Instead of going through, you guys heard all of them before. I'll do number 4, then I'll do number 5. So number 4 was my sibling is a descendant of a hero in our country. He or she also grows up to be a hero themselves. Okay. Trivia question number 5, or clue number 5. My country is called Albion.
Ding ding ding
Like,
ding ding ding.
My country is called Albion. So, token already submitted. So,
Wonder if he's right.
I don't know. Rob would have to tell me if he was right or not. But and now, everybody, you have plenty of time to submit. Well, when are we stopping submissions?
I would say
Saturday.
Saturday night, midnight.
Okay, Saturday night, and the reason why we do this is so then everybody who also listens to the show has a chance to put in for that one. But everybody that's here, you guys are in for a drawing that only you guys are in because you're present. So
I've already got a winner selected from the Twitch feed.
okay,
So
cool.
It is someone that's here that's been
Yeah.
very active in the chat tonight. So we'll announce that next week. And that was all random. So I've been writing all the names down, did a random number generator, and bam. There you go.
Oh yes, and this is a character. It is not a game. It is a character. So,
No,
the question.
Canadians cannot enter.
A.
No Canadians, eh? Yes, you can enter Carbide.
Yep. So,
Anybody
All right.
can enter
Yeah.
this one, right? Because if you're getting Xbox points, if you're say you're in Europe and you win, you're gonna get you're gonna end up with Xbox gift card. If you live in the States, then we can give you the option of Xbox gift card or an Amazon gift card. But if you're out, I can't give you, through this one, I can't get you, well, I don't know, maybe I could. I might. Our Europe guys can probably still do it. I can get them an Amazon gift card too, probably in their own denomination, but I'll have to figure out what $60 is. So,
Hopefully the conversion rate's good.
yeah, I hope
Or in their favor
so.
as it gets converted into drachmas or dinars
So,
or
I think
whatever.
it's funny that somebody in the chat keeps putting "O" like OH, and I'm always like IO because that's the chant for Ohio State. So I'm like, what's with all the Buckeye chants tonight? So
All right. Hey, Wing, I got a question for you, man.
what?
I'm in a little bit of a conundrum here. All right, so I need to get some aquarium filters, some toilet paper, and I want to get Sniper Elite 3 Collector's Edition. And I also want to support my favorite podcast. Do you know where I could do that all in one place?
Nope.
Yes, you do.
Nope. I suppose you could try going to Amazon.com by using the thisxboxlife.com affiliate link. In the States, you go to thisxboxlife.com/Amazon. It'll take you directly to our U.S. store in our affiliate page. If you're out of the U.S., you can go to our website, click on the Amazon link on the right side, and it will take you to the appropriate affiliate link of the store closest to you, your geographical location. So, and that would be a great way to get your filters and your diapers and your Sniper Elite 3 and support your favorite podcast.
Thanks, man. You really helped me out.
I know those adult diapers can be costly, so.
Well, it depends.
Oh, zing!
Whoa, yeah.
He's a poet. All right, I think that wraps up our show. Be sure to let us know in the comments on our Facebook group if you liked the new format. hopefully you recognize the new format. I think it's
Yep.
much improved myself. But let us know, and be sure to return next week to find out who our 3 lucky winners are. Again, I don't think I detailed this. I did it on the Facebook page. We're saying a full game. What that relates to when we say that is $60 US money. It'll be either an Xbox gift card for $60, or it will be an Amazon gift card for US $60. So that's how it will work out. Okay, we're not mailing you a game. You know, if you want a physical game, you will have to buy it yourself. This way, it protects us from. We're not going to send GTA 5 to some 12-year-old. Okay, we'll send you the gift card and you buy what you want. So, makes us legally not liable. So, remember to rate us 5 stars in your favorite podcast programs or whatever rating they got. Rate us at the top, please. And with that, we appreciate your joining us tonight and every week. So with that, I'm Mark, aka Wingman709. I'm taking off.
I'm Rob, also known as Presar on Xbox Live. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody, and for watching. For those of you that watch us on Twitch and YouTube and all that good stuff, catch y'all next week.
And I'm Brun, BJ Swick 33. Have a good one.